My name is Emily Rivera. 3 years ago, I fell in love with a man whose mother believed I wasn't worthy. She destroyed my scholarship, threatened my family, and forced me to disappear while I was carrying his child. But fate doesn't let the truth stay buried forever. Because one day, I came back on his wedding day.
Before I share my story, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if, trust me, you'll want to hear what happened next.
The tray was heavier than it looked. My arms trembled as I balanced champagne flutes for men in $1,000 suits who wouldn't even glance my way. That was fine by me. Invisibility was a waitress's best asset, especially when you were a journalism student from Jersey trying to make rent. "Excuse me, could you—" I turned too fast. The tray tilted. Time slowed as golden liquid arced through the air, splashing across a perfectly pressed white shirt. "Oh God, I'm so sorry." My hands flew to my mouth. The man, tall, dark-haired, maybe 30, looked down at his ruined shirt, then up at me. I braced for anger. Instead, he laughed. "Well, that's one way to make an entrance." His eyes crinkled at the corners. "I'm Nate." "Emily," I managed, grabbing napkins from my apron. "I'm really—" "Don't." He caught my wrist gently. "It's just a shirt. Besides, now I have an excuse to skip the rest of my speech." That's when I noticed the microphone clipped to his collar, the PowerPoint frozen on the screen behind us. Nathaniel Whitmore, CEO of Whitmore Tech. I'd just doused the keynote speaker. "Your speech," I whispered. "I ruined—" "Improved," he corrected. "Nothing like a champagne shower to wake up the audience." He glanced at my name tag. "Emily Rivera. Let me guess. Columbia Journalism." My cheeks burned. "How did you—" "Reporter's notebook sticking out of your apron. Plus you have that look, observing everything, filing it away." He loosened his tie. "I dated a journalist once. She had the same intensity." The crowd was staring now. His assistant rushed over with a jacket. "Mr. Whitmore, we need to—" "Give me 5 minutes, James." Nate's eyes never left mine. Emily was just explaining how champagne aerodynamics work. We met again the next week. Coffee at a hole-in-the-wall diner where nobody would recognize him. I wore my only nice dress. He wore jeans and a baseball cap. "You clean up nice without the apron," he said, sliding into the booth across from me. "You dress down nice without the suit." We talked for 3 hours about everything. His pressure cooker childhood, my father's construction job that broke his back, literally. How his mother picked his girlfriends like she picked wines. How my mother cleaned houses for women who looked through her like glass. "Different worlds," I said, stirring sugar into cold coffee. "Same planet," he countered, reaching for my hand. The secret grew between us like something alive. Stolen lunches, late-night texts, weekends at my cramped apartment where he could be just Nate, not Nathaniel Whitmore III. He taught me to play chess. I taught him to make rice and beans. He fixed my ancient laptop. I edited his speeches, making them sound human instead of corporate. "You're good for me," he said one night, his head in my lap while I worked on a paper. "You see me. Not the name or the money. Just me." I ran my fingers through his hair. "That's because that's all you are to me. Just Nate who can't cook pasta without burning it." He sat up, cupping my face. "I love you, Emily Rivera." The words hung between us, precious and terrifying. "I love you too," I whispered back. 6 months passed in a blur of hidden happiness. Then the morning sickness started. The pregnancy test shook in my hands. 2 pink lines. I'd checked 3 times. I was planning how to tell Nate when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Miss Rivera, this is Madeline Whitmore's assistant. Mrs. Whitmore would like to meet you for lunch today. 1 o'clock at Le Bernardin." My stomach dropped. Nate's mother knew. She was already seated when I arrived, a sculpture in cream Chanel. Her eyes, Nate's eyes, but cold, tracked me across the restaurant. "Sit," she said. Not a request. I sat. "Emily Rivera." She said my name like it tasted sour. 22, journalism major. Father deceased, construction accident. Mother cleans houses, scholarship student. She slid a folder across the table. "Should I continue?" My hands clenched under the table. "What do you want?" "The same thing you do, I imagine. What's best for my son?" She opened the folder. These are interesting. Photos. Me at a bar last year, laughing with friends. Taken out of context, I looked drunk. Bank statements showing my overdrawn account. A text conversation, fabricated, where I allegedly told someone about landing a rich one. These are fake, I said, my voice steady despite my racing heart. Are they? My son won't think so, especially when paired with this. She produced another paper, a bank transfer. $50,000 to my account, dated yesterday. I didn't. Check your balance. With numb fingers, I pulled out my phone. The money was there. Consider it severance, Madeline said. Leave New York, tonight. Don't contact my son again. Or, she tapped another folder. Your scholarship status might come under review. Academic fraud is serious business. I haven't done anything wrong. Haven't you? Her smile was sharp as winter. A few keystrokes, and you'll have. My reach is long, Miss Rivera. Your mother's employers might suddenly find they no longer need cleaning services. Your brother's college applications might face unexpected rejections. My hand moved instinctively to my stomach. Her eyes followed the gesture. Oh. Her voice turned silky. That does complicate things. But accidents happen, don't they? Stairs are treacherous. Streets are dangerous. The threat hung between us like a blade. I left that night, threw everything I owned into 2 suitcases and caught a Greyhound bus to nowhere. The email from Columbia came 3 days later. Scholarship revoked due to inconsistencies in submitted documentation. I'd written Nate a letter explaining everything. It came back unopened. Crescent Bay, Maine, was the end of the line. Literally. The bus didn't go any farther. A fishing town clinging to rocky shores where winter stayed 9 months and tourists never came. Maggie's Diner needed a waitress. The pay was minimum wage plus tips from fishermen who smelled like salt and engine oil. I took it. You running from something or someone? Maggie asked on my 3rd day, watching me hide my growing belly under an oversized sweater. Both, I admitted. She nodded. Well, you're not the first. Won't be the last. Long as you show up and work hard, your business is yours. Noah was born during a spring storm. The power went out, and I delivered him by candlelight with Maggie holding my hand. He came out screaming, all dark hair and stubborn chin. Nate's eyes looked back at me, accusing and innocent. He's beautiful, Maggie whispered. He's everything, I whispered back. The days blurred together, waitressing, washing dishes, drawing portraits online for $20 each. Noah on my hip, in a carrier on my back, sleeping in a drawer lined with blankets because I couldn't afford a crib yet. I wrote Nate again when Noah turned 1. Again when he said his first word, Mama. The letters never came back, but there were no responses. The silence was answer enough. Some nights I'd stand at the window, Noah warm against my chest, and wonder if Nate ever thought of me. If he'd married someone appropriate. If he was happy. Where, Dada? Noah asked one day, pointing at a father pushing his son on the diner's single swing. Daddy's far away, I said, the lie bitter on my tongue. Why? Because I wasn't good enough. Because his grandmother threatened us. Because sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes people can't be together, I said instead. But Mama's here. Mama will always be here. The call came on a Tuesday. Catering help needed for a society wedding. 3 days' work, $500 a day. It's at the Whitmore estate, the agency woman said. Old money, very particular. Can you handle it? My blood chilled. The Whitmore estate is in New York. They have a summer compound here in Maine. Didn't you know? The wedding's there. Big society thing. Can you do it or not? I looked at Noah, building blocks on our threadbare carpet. His shoes were getting too small. I'll do it. The compound sprawled across pristine coastline like something from a magazine. White tents, crystal chandeliers, flowers that cost more than my monthly rent. I kept my head down, Noah strapped to my back, hidden under a large shawl. Set tables, polished silver. Don't look at the guests arriving. Don't think about why a Whitmore would marry in Maine instead of Manhattan. Then I saw the programs. Nathaniel Whitmore and Juliet Pemberton. My knees buckled. I grabbed the table edge, crystal rattling. You all right? Another server touched my arm. Fine, I lied. Just tired. I couldn't run. Couldn't leave. $1,500. No one needed so much. I'd stay invisible. Keep my head down. He'd never know. The ceremony started. I hid in the kitchen, washing dishes. The sound of applause meant it was done. He was married. The door I'd been foolishly keeping cracked and my heart slammed shut. "Rivera, they need hands for champagne service. Now!" I pulled my cap low, adjusted my mask, grabbed a tray. I could do this. The reception glittered with beautiful people. I weaved between them, invisible as always. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I shouldn't have looked. "I see you. Leave now, or I'll make sure your son never sees his next birthday." The tray slipped. Champagne flutes shattered against marble. The whole room turned. "I'm sorry, I'm so..." A hand touched my shoulder. I looked up into Nate's face. Time stopped. His eyes widened, recognizing me despite the cap and mask. "Emily?" I ran. Through the kitchen, past startled staff, out to the parking lot. But he was faster. "Emily, wait!" He caught my arm. I spun around and Noah's shawl slipped. My son, our son, blinked at the stranger holding his mother. Nate's face went white. "Is he... Please..." My voice broke. "Just let us go. Your mother already..." "My mother what?" The words poured out. Everything. The threats, the planted evidence, the scholarship, the letters. "Letters?" His voice was hollow. "What letters?" "I wrote you. 3 times. They came back. I never got any letters." His hand shook as he reached toward Noah. "How old is he?" 2.5. 2.5 years. His voice cracked. "You've been alone for 2.5 years. "Nate!" Madeline's voice cut across the parking lot. "What are you..." She saw me. Saw Noah. Her face turned to stone. "You." "Mother." Nate's voice was deadly quiet. "We need to talk. Get back to your wedding. I'll handle this." "Did you threaten her?" Madeline's chin lifted. "I protected you." "Did you threaten her?" "She was nobody. A gold digger. I did what any mother..." "She was carrying my child." The slap of his words made her flinch. "You don't know." "Look at him." Nate's voice broke. "Look at my son and tell me you didn't know." Noah whimpered, scared by the shouting. I bounced him, humming desperately. "Everything she told me," Nate said slowly. "It's true, isn't it? You destroyed her life. You kept my child from me." "I did what was best." "You did what was best for you." He turned to me. "Emily, please, come with me." "Your wedding can go to hell." He held out his hand. "Please, let me fix this. Let me try." The wedding guests gasped as Nate led us onto the stage. Juliet stood frozen in white silk, her face unreadable. "I need to tell you all something," Nate said into the microphone. His hand found mine. 3 years ago, I met Emily Rivera. I fell in love with her. We were going to have a child together. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. But my mother couldn't accept someone she deemed beneath our status. So she threatened Emily, destroyed her scholarship, ruined her life, forced her to run. His voice hardened, and kept my son from me. Madeline stood. "Nathaniel, don't be ridiculous. I have the investigators' reports," Juliet spoke suddenly. Everyone turned. The bride's smile was bitter. "Your mother showed them to me. Wanted me to know how she handled your previous girlfriend. A warning, I suppose." She reached into her bodice, pulled out papers. "I made copies, including the emails where she ordered your assistant to intercept any mail from Emily." "You knew?" Nate stared at her. "I knew." Juliet's voice was tired. "Just like I know this marriage is a business merger, not love. My father needs your money. Your mother needs our connections." She looked at Emily. "I helped you send that last letter, the one that came back, address unknown. I wanted to see if he'd choose love over duty." "Why didn't you tell me?" Nate demanded. "Would you have believed me, the gold-digging socialite, over your mother?" Juliet laughed bitterly. "Besides, she had leverage on my family, too. We're all trapped in her web, Nathaniel. Only difference is, Emily was brave enough to run." She unpinned her veil, let it fall. "I'm done. This wedding is off." She looked at the crowd. "Show's over, everyone. Though I'd stay for Act 2 if I were you. It's just getting good." Madeline's face was purple. "You can't." "I can. I am." Juliet stepped down from the stage, paused beside me. "He never stopped loving you," she whispered. Every time he said your name in his sleep, I knew. Louder, she added, "Take care of him. He's a good man raised by a monster." She walked out, head high. The room exploded in chaos. The cottage in Vermont was small but perfect. Real wood floors that creaked. A kitchen with morning light. A yard where Noah could run. "You sure about this?" I asked, watching Nate attempt to assemble a toddler bed. He had the instructions upside down. "Never been sure of anything." He abandoned the bed to wrap his arms around me. "Except maybe about fatherhood. Pretty sure about that too." Noah toddled over, holding a screwdriver like a prize. "Help Dada?" "Yeah, buddy. Help Dada before he builds this thing backward." 3 months had passed since the wedding disaster. The scandal had been spectacular. Madeleine lost her board positions when Nate released the full investigation. Years of blackmail and manipulation. The media feast lasted weeks. But here, in this quiet corner of Vermont, none of that mattered. "I'm scared," I admitted one night, my head on his chest. We'd been playing house, learning each other again. "What if she won't." His hand found mine. "She has no power anymore. Just a lonely woman in a big house, wondering where she went wrong." "I can't forgive her. I'm not asking you to. I can't forgive her either." He kissed my forehead. "But we can move forward. Build something new." I'd started writing. Not journalism, a memoir. Single mother, stolen years. The words poured out like water from a broken dam. "The publisher called today," I said, tracing patterns on his chest. "They want to fast-track it." "That's amazing." He tilted my chin up. "You're amazing." "I'm pregnant." The word slipped out. I hadn't meant to tell him like that. His whole body stilled. "You're 10 weeks. I wanted to be sure before." He was kissing me, laughing, crying. "A baby? Another baby?" "A girl, they think. A sister for Noah." His hand found my still flat stomach. "Our daughter." "Our daughter," I agreed, and the words felt like coming home. Later, I sat on the porch, laptop warm on my knees. Noah painted with watercolors at the kid table, tongue out in concentration. Nate grilled burgers, badly, humming off key. My phone buzzed. Maggie, checking in like she did every week. "You good, honey?" "Yeah," I typed back. "We're good." And we were. Not perfect. Not a fairy tale. Noah still had nightmares sometimes. I still flinched at unknown numbers. Nate still struggled with the guilt of those lost years. But we were together, building something real from the ashes of what was stolen, learning to trust in tomorrow while honoring yesterday's scars. "Mama, look!" Noah held up his painting. Abstract swirls of blue and green. "It's beautiful, baby. What is it?" "Us," he said simply. "All together." Nate's arms wrapped around me from behind, hands gentle on my growing belly. "All together," he echoed. The sun set over Vermont hills. Inside, I could hear the timer for Nate's probably burnt burgers. Noah needed a bath. I had 3 chapters to revise. Normal, messy, beautiful life. We'd lost 3 years. But we had tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. Sometimes it's just living well, loving hard, and refusing to let bitterness win. I saved my document, closed the laptop, turned into my family's waiting arms. We were home.
Life isn't always fair. And sometimes, the people we trust the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. But if you're brave enough to walk away, and strong enough to stay true to yourself, happiness will always find its way back to you. Share this story if you believe that truth, love, and courage will always triumph over lies.